we are talking about Santa Monica Place welcoming small and local businesses to their mall with short-term leases. So according to Chain Store Age, Santa Monica Place, the luxury mall located next to the highly trafficked Santa Monica Pier, has signed up for Macerich's QuikSpace program, which allows retailers to rent space from 1 day to 12 months and offers them tools for managing accounts, making payments, renewing leases, renting storage space, and more. Santa Monica Place is offering up to 15 spaces, totaling 5,000 square feet, just over 5,000 square feet. Chad, we're going to go to you first. We spoke to Leap earlier this year that's working on offering similar services to D2C brands, but we're talking 1 day leases here. As a former CMO, like can a brand really determine what the viability is of running a full store operation in 1 day or 1 month? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, so as I understand it, 1 day is a minimum, and you can do terms beyond that, right? I mean, right. I think overall, I think this is really cool to see, right?
Yeah.
So there are many casualties of COVID, like blowing out the candles of a birthday cake that serves everyone, right? I hope the long-term retail mall lease is another one, right? Like, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's much more retailer friendly to align your physical occupancy time horizon with your scale up, right?
Yep.
And so I like this as a mechanism to not financially cripple a retailer before they get started. That's kind of on the surface. But the other reason I really like this is because of the nature of what you get with short-term commitments and timing flexibility. So this is great for retailers testing locations and store concepts, great for pop-ups, generally good for fueling experimentation, innovation, and dynamic offerings in malls where there's typically a staleness factor. So yeah, I do see the value in it, and I hope we see more of it.
Yeah, I agree. I was just walking some mall properties on Monday with some developers, and it is pretty bleak. I think at the very minimum here, it does offer something activating these windows that have been dark for so long during the pandemic. Hemant, what do you think? What are your thoughts here?
I agree with you guys. I mean, it's I'm just glad that real estate developers are driving some innovation into the business, because the role of the stores has changed so much. So that's good to see. I like the angle that they're creating opportunities for startup and new businesses that don't want to sign a 10-year lease to get and establish their brand with a limited retail footprint. And I think that's a good thing. Outside of that, probably not a big event for me as far as retail news goes.
Right. Yeah. I think the thing that I would caution brands about, and really thinking about going into these mall properties, is still, how much, when you're thinking about your strategy of going into the pop-up, how much of these short-term leases is really going to inform your long-term go-to-market strategies. Like, just because a pop-up is working in, 3 months during the summer and you're selling flip-flops and bathing suits does not mean that, that, or the cost of that investment, staffing and all these other things, which is why I mentioned Leap earlier. I think that there's more to the business component of this. So you just really need to be careful about, the QuikSpaces not being the model that you use for building the future store model.